The Attorney General directing the creation of a Justice Department task force tonight to counter, quote, violent anti-government extremists taking advantage of recent demonstrations to sow discord through acts of violence.
We still have to try to stop it before it happens, and that's where the burden is right now on state and local, and in many places they're not stepping up to the plate. They're not doing their job.
Let's open up this discussion now with Fox News contributor Guy Benson and KTTH Seattle radio host Jason Rantz. Good evening, gentlemen.
Hello.
Hey, Mike.
Jason, let's start with you. What's your reaction to the Attorney General setting up this task force?
It's long overdue, but I think we have to be honest about how difficult it's going to be to go after Antifa members. Antifa is not a national organization that has one leader. In a lot of ways, it's folks who are living in different cities where they happen to have hotspots of Antifa action, and they don't really coordinate with other Antifa groups. They kind of just show up. They have this ideological position, a dangerous one that they're willing to take, but it's not a typical kind of club that you can just infiltrate. So it's going to be difficult, but obviously it needs to be done.
All right, Guy, take a listen to President Trump.
They're taking over American cities. By the way, in all cases, it's Democrats. They're Democrat-run, in all cases. And Joe Biden would have that be the whole country.
Do this task force and the president's comment help make the argument that President Trump is running a law and order administration, Guy?
Well, he's running against what is the opposite of law and order, which is lawlessness in some major American cities, including, with all respect to my friend Jason, his city. It's ground zero, Seattle. It's just totally embarrassing to the entire country. And what has struck me, Mike, is the effort in the mainstream press to sort of gaslight the American people as if Antifa isn't a thing and it's not really doing all that much damage. And unfortunately for those people pushing that storyline, we all have eyes and ears and phones and YouTube and televisions, and now we've seen week after week of this sort of destruction and flare-ups across the country. I agree with Jason. This is long overdue. We need the laws enforced, and unfortunately in a lot of these, yes, Democrat-run cities, that has not been happening.
Jason, take a listen to Stephen inside CHOP there in Seattle.
Handle civil disputes even within each other in the communities.
Is there actual leadership there that you've seen?
So, no, there's a lot of people who think they're in charge. And that's part of the problem. So when the city comes in and says, Mayor Jenny Durkan today tried to clear it out, as you just heard in that report, but there were people who are not okay with that. There was a meeting just a few hours ago with quote-unquote CHOP leaders, and they've come to an agreement, it seems like, for Sunday morning for a portion of the barricades to be removed. But again, there's so many different voices that are there. Not everyone's on the same page, and it's inevitable that there's going to be more conflict.
Guy, we've seen this tearing down statues phenomenon, including those who want to take down George Washington and General Ulysses Grant, who won the Civil War for the North. How should that be addressed?
I mean, how can you reason with people who have gone in sort of light speed fashion from Confederate statues to George Washington? And now we saw the report earlier, the Emancipation statue here in Washington, D.C., that was literally paid for and funded by emancipated slaves and is in honor of Abraham Lincoln and was dedicated by Frederick Douglass. They decided that one had to come down too. These are morons who are illiterate and ignorant historically. They want destruction. They don't like the country. And I'm not speaking about the vast majority of peaceful protesters who want reforms in this country. I'm talking about the mob, and we should stop coddling them and pretending like they're something that they're not.
Yeah, I mean, First Amendment right to peacefully protest, but to try and scrub history.
Peaceably, right.
That's a whole different story. Jason, Guy, gentlemen, thanks very much. Have a great weekend.
Good to see you.
Thank you. You too.